Alright, and welcome to another episode of Eat, Smoke, Drink, Caffeine Edition. So, you're probably wondering, why am I sweating like a pig? Well, the answer to that is because I've just been for a run and now I'm sweating like a whore in church. Anyway, in fact, I'm sweating so much I can't even see with my sunglasses, and my hat is keeping me so hot. So today you're going to get a special treat. You're going to see the real me, my shiny dome, and without my sunglasses, alright? Today I'm going to take you through Camargo Cafe from Peru. Okay, a little background. I went to the Cafe Expo here, Expo Cafe, which is the, you've probably seen my video, the coffee fair, the Coffee Expo. And I went past a bunch of stands with coffees in them, sampling. Now, I don't remember these guys sampling me coffee. I'm not sure if they had a sample, but I was just looking around and they just handed me a bag. And I thought to myself, you didn't even talk to me about your coffee. You just handed me a bag. So I don't know if it was the owner or the staff that was working there. Nevertheless, I was told by someone very smart once and said, if you want someone to try your product, if you give it for free, you get 100% redemption. And so here I am today. So I started looking into their company more. They have some pretty cool varieties and processes, and they're serious punters. Okay, so these guys are not amateurs. These guys are pretty serious. I just didn't feel like it at the show because they just gave you the sample. They didn't talk to you about it. But you know, small stand, I totally understand. Anyway, let's get sipping. Oh wait, this is, it says Caturra, honey process. It is, production is by Helmo Carmargo and Maruja Cruz. Origin is Distrito de Rica, Paso. Okay, so yeah, sure. And altitude is 1550 meters above sea level. So let's, first and foremost, the beans are on the, it looks like on the darker roast, okay? The beans look like on the darker roast. They're pretty consistent in color, so that's quite interesting as well. Pretty dark roast. Right, let's get sniffing. So what I do is I usually just make a V60 pour over and then decide from there how I'm going to modify the recipe. But recently I started doing this, where I put just 6 grams of coffee, 100 mils of water, and it just tells me how I should be brewing that coffee. Okay, is it going to be a pour over? Is it going to be immersion? Is it going to be airpress, flow control, espresso, whatever? That's what I've got with me when I'm traveling. So let's get sniffing. Toasted peanuts, definitely on the darker side of the nose. I'm getting a sweet cherry, sour plum. Definitely dark chocolate. I'm talking the 70-80% cocoa, even 100% cacao, like the proper chocolate. There's a sweetness to it, molasses. The nose is very pleasant. A woody, earthy note, slightly. Burnt butter. A hint of sesame oil. Grapes, which is weird. Grapes on a vine that's been overripe. There's a herbaceousness to it. I can't put my finger on, but that doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm going to steep this and I'll be back. As usual, 1:16 ratio. Okay, I'll just give it one last stir, let it settle, and then we can see what we're dealing with here. So definitely on the darker side of the roast, but not too dark actually. On the earthy side, nutty, chocolatey, quite toasty. It is definitely on the darker side of the roast, on the taste as well, but not overly dark. So this is quite an interesting brew, actually. This is quite an interesting coffee because I think this would suit espresso and this would suit filter. There's a slight acidity. Actually, there's a bit of acidity with the earthiness, which is quite unusual. Usually you get a lot of fruit and a lot of sour and a lot of acid and a lot of maybe even sweetness, but you don't get that earthiness come through so much. But this one you do get both, which is actually quite interesting. Quite an interesting coffee. There's a grassiness to it, herbal note. I'm not sure how I feel about it. There's a depth of complexity to it. A slight funkiness. In the smell. Like an overripe fruit. I can't tell you what fruit, but an overripe fruit. That's a very nice coffee. I'm liking it more and more. Wow. I think this will suit immersion and then pour over. Okay, pour over might bring out the earthiness more. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure. I'm guessing here, but I'm guessing immersion is going to be good for this one. Look, it's a great coffee. Quite complex. There's a lot going on. There's overripe fruit, there's acid, there's earth. It's quite ballsy, but not overly toasty. A little bit of cereal note, hay, wet soil, slight woodiness, slight leatheriness. Fantastic, actually fantastic. What a great coffee. Anyway, until next time, make sure you eat, smoke, drink. All of the details are below. And look, none of these videos that I do is rehearsed, or none of these videos that I do is paid. Okay, so this is just because I'm sick of the head and I just do it for fun. Okay, but anyway, I apologize for sweating like a whore in church. I've just been for a run, like I said. Until next time, make sure you eat, smoke, drink, and caffeinate. Cheers.